Now let's get started with our project. Your IDE can be anything that you like, and for my project, I'll be using Goland. All I need to do here is to click New Project and then get started with creating my project. For our project name, let's name this Go Blockchain. And regarding this version, this is Go version 1.13.1, but if you're using a version that's higher than this, I think it shouldn't be a problem. But if you are concerned about the version, please go with the same version that I have here, which is 1.13.1. I'll click on Create to create my project. Once we've created our project, if you look towards the top left, we see the folder Go Blockchain. We'll right-click and get our cursor over New and then select New Go File. We'll name our new Go file as Blockchain and click on OK. Now our package is named Go Blockchain by default, but let's rename this. So we're going to delete Go Blockchain and replace it with main. We'll name this as main because this is the file that we're going to be using as our main default package. For our next step, we'll import fmt and then write func main fmt println test. Let's run our code with this, and on the upper left, we have the option to add configuration. We'll click on this and click on the plus sign, then select Go Build. The name for this can be anything, but let's name it as Blockchain. Then for the run kind, let's select Directory, and then down below, click on Apply. Once we've completed this step, we'll see a green triangular shape. And when we click on this, we'll be able to run our code and the result will be displayed down below. When we run our code here, we see test printed down below. What we've covered now is specific to this IDE. So if you're using a different IDE like VS Code, please follow the directions for that IDE to run your code. Another thing to note is this time I moved my mouse up to the triangular icon to run the code, but it is possible to run the code using a shortcut. So going forward, when I do say that I'll be running the code, I may decide to use a shortcut instead of moving my mouse up to the icon. And another point, I'm using a Mac, so Command R is the shortcut to run the code. I'll use the shortcut to demonstrate. Just now I used the shortcut, and again you see the same result, test, on the lower left. The settings for the shortcuts can be viewed by going to Preferences. You'll see Key Map here on the left, and within Key Map, if you type Run for the search box, you'll see an option to set up a shortcut key. If you do want to use the shortcut key, this may be something you might be interested in. I've already set up my shortcuts, so I'll click on Cancel. If you do want to use a debugger, creating a shortcut may also be a good idea. For example, I've stored test in A, and I'll make this A and set a breakpoint here. Then on the upper left, we have an icon that looks like a bug. We'll click on this, which enables debugging. And now our debugger stopped at the breakpoint. This is telling us that currently test is stored in A. So debugger allows us to execute the code line by line. This is how debugging works, and if this is something you're interested in, please use this as well. Now I'm going to close my debugger, and let's try logging. For example, we'll import log here. Then with func init, we'll write log, then select set prefix. We'll set blockchain as our prefix for our log when we run our code. And this is how we want to define our function. And here, let's include log println test. And for the line below, let's make this test2. We'll run our code with this, and when we do, we see test2. Regarding our log, the order of output is different from our log, but we see here that our prefix of blockchain is displayed. We're able to confirm that the data for this log is displayed. The output differs between what's been printed and our log, but we can confirm that the results are displayed correctly on our console. we're done creating and confirming our setting for this project. So in our next lecture, let's get started with actually writing the code.